All right, hey everyone. What's going on? I'm back here at Spa with two races for you today. Just because I really just wasn't satisfied with the first race. That first race being this one, as you are about to see. So come along with me as I drive like a man possessed, possessed by an 8-year-old maybe. No offense to any 8-year-olds out there that can actually drive better than me. I don't doubt that there may be a number of you out there, but I'm not one of them. I'm going with the Niners. LeBron James. We get into formation here just before the green lights go out. We're all lined up, and away we go. We're on racing behind the McLaren here, and yeah, I didn't want to get into any trouble, so we get a pretty hassle-free run up Eau Rouge, up to the top of the hill. That's Radion actually. But yeah, we're picking up a slipstream and we just scoot to what is going to soon be the outside. Kind of compromised here. You know, we got the Huracan in the way and it becomes 3 wide. It gets a little risky, but we managed to stick our way around the outside. We tuck in behind the NSX here. Pretty good stuff, but I do lose a bit of traction on the exit. I go a bit loose, which is the first of my problems, which you'll be seeing this race. But yeah, just holding it, trying to keep it consistent. We take the inside line there. I guess the are just, I guess they're just trained to go wider mid-exit. Yeah, I tried to stick around the outside. Does not happen. I'm still sick, I'm sorry. Yeah, we try to stick it up the inside here at a point. Does not work either. He still gets ahead, but then he suddenly just disappears off the face of the planet. Don't know what happened, but I'll take it. You gotta take it how it comes. So, coming around, love this middle sector because, you know, it's so technical. But it is kind of like a double-edged sword for somebody like me, whose consistency is not all the way there. And more importantly, whose driving is not all the way there. So, that's kind of where my laps are either, you know, make or break. But we get a pretty alright run out of there, which is pretty important considering the next whole part of this track up until the bus stop, and I guess here as well. But it's just a lift really, but it's gonna be flat, so your momentum out of that corner really matters. Brake hard, and I brake a bit too early there, and yeah, I guess the Bentley just had enough and decides to wander off. Don't know what happened there actually. And starting second lap, I actually have all the power to know, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna replay the Bentley's POV. I'm sorry. Where was I going again? Oh yeah, starting second lap. So we're behind the R8 here, and honestly, video over is what I would have thought, had it not been for the multitude of mistakes I make during this race. Taking a lot of liberties there. At the top of Radion, as well as a bit through Eau Rouge there, as you can see. But yeah, this race, I really just don't know what it was, but I was making just so much mistakes, as you shall see. Took that pretty alright, although I think I went a bit too deep there, and just letting the car really float for just too long. And what I mean by that is just like, you know, either not being on throttle or on the brakes. Like, I don't know if it's just like a me thing, but I often find that I am in the most control of my car, as well as, you know, I am also in the best limit of control when I am either braking or on throttle. So if, say, I lift for too long or whatever, I often feel a bit disconnected from the car, but that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. Because sometimes lifting does help, especially get the rear rotated. At least in karts, that does. You don't really feel it as much, not in cars, or at least not here. I'm driving the BMW M4, something I'm not as used to because when it comes to ACC, I like to go with the Mercedes. Yeah, the AMG. I like a longer wheelbase, mainly for handling reasons. I find it a bit harder to spin out, which is good for me because I'm not a very just go way past track limits there. But yeah, I'm not really the best driver. I tend to lose the rear of the car and all that. But you know, I do what I can. Tucking in behind the R8, and then it just leaves us. It just, yeah, eggs out of there just super bad. I need a sip of water. Hang on. Ah, it's nice. The tea strikes again to soothe my throat. Thank you, tea. Thank you, Ahmed Tea, English Breakfast. I'm not sponsored by them, but if they'd like to, I wouldn't say no, because I love money. Anyways, onto the Camel Straight here, and you can just see the gap that's grown between me and the R8 up ahead, the Audi. So, you know, I probably pressured myself into trying to catch up, and yep, yeah. So that's one moment, just sliding all over the place, not nice at all. But yeah, just I really need to work on that consistency and just making sure the car is pinned, making sure I'm reducing the amount of time I lose. But yeah, now one thing that is, I guess, a little surprising because of that is that although I did mess up and my pace is not all the way there, the AI behind me do not brake either. Sorry, or they don't overtake me. Probably because they're stuck behind my dirty air, I'd have to assume. But you know, I don't have the answers for that. I very well could, but I'm not bothered to show you that POV, or at least not yet. Anyways, yeah, taking a lot of liberties there on the AstroTurf, not really where you want to be, and then just not taking enough liberties on the inside where you want to be. So that's something I got to work on, and I have a bit of a moment there. I just go wide. Yeah, not ideal. So that does ruin your exit out of that corner, and thus your run down to the bus stop. And I think, is this Blanchimont, this corner? I really forget. I tend to mix the name of these corners up every now and then. But yeah, you can just see, you know, how much farther away they pull away from us. Yeah, I try not to get discouraged, because you know there's always someone faster out there, and it's our job to learn and take it on the chin. So, oh, excuse me, I need that tea again. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, you can just see now. You almost just can't see him. But yeah, not doing too well this race. Taking again, just a little bit too much of the AstroTurf, or at least the track width on the inside there. But yeah, one thing you'll notice in this race, or maybe you won't notice, but I only had one valid lap here in this race, and what was that? Yeah, that wasn't good. I had. Oh, there's another moment. Yeah, that was just not good at all. But yeah, I had one valid lap during this 5-lap race. Yeah, I know, 5-lap race, whatever. But you know, I needed to keep it short. Spa's a long track, and yeah, I figured it would have been enough for me to at least get a gauge on my, you know, my corner-to-corner consistency. It's more about just me being able to calm myself down. But yeah, just look at the gap between us and then P5 and the rest of the group. You can see they're all about a second, 2 seconds behind each other. I am 2.5 behind them. So yeah, that's definitely not good. But yeah, I'm just still trying to find my way around here in the M4. Yeah. So really, you're supposed to take that flat. There's a line where you can take it flat, and I don't really hit it every lap, do I? So Yeah, it's an everlasting journey, and I go off again. You know, racing is just like that. You know, you learn corner to corner, lap to lap, race to race, and I get a bit wobbly out there. Completely missed the apex on the final corner, starting to fourth lap now, and yeah, you can see things do not get much better. Do I make another mistake this race? I think I do, but I don't remember what it could be. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, you can see not a good race so far. Lots of mistakes. Still sick. Still coughing. Still drinking this tea. Oh, excuse me. Where was I? Yeah, you can't even really tell anymore, can you? Like, first couple laps here, like, yeah, that's an Audi in front of me, and I go wide. Yeah, I go too deep. But yeah, you can't even tell what car that is anymore, can you? Completely missed the apex there. Ideally you want to be on the curbs, on the AstroTurf, the little green bit on the inside, would be better. But I'm not all the way there yet. So yeah, still bits of my driving that are very much undercooked. But yeah, don't worry. I apologize, viewers, but you're just gonna have to put up with this driving for a little bit longer. Or at least for the rest of this video. Or maybe you won't. Because there is another race coming up after this, which I think will probably be a bit easier on the eyes there. But yeah, I actually take this section quite well in this lap. That's ideally how you'd want to take it, but or at least from what I know, that wasn't too bad either. I think just a little bit shaky going on there, but yeah, you can see basically flat through there. Could have taken a bit more curb on the outside, but you know it's all right. You know, going wide and making sure you get all the curbs and make good use of the AstroTurf, the green bits. It's more just about preservation. You want to preserve your speed. You want to make sure that you know, you're not losing as much speed through there as possible. But yeah, that's it. Fireworks are up. I don't know why you'd have fireworks in the day, so Assetto Corsa, please write back to me on that. But that is the end of race 1. P6, about, what is that? More than 10 seconds behind the leader. But yeah, starting the next race now. Still in P12. I just set myself at P12 just because I felt like it would have gave me a bit more things to talk about, and it kind of did. So, getting ready to start race number 2. So, once again, I invite you to come along with me one more time. Hopefully for something a little better, something that won't piss you guys off as much. Yeah, this race definitely went a little better, so let's walk ourselves through it. Lining ourselves up here, getting ready, positioning ourselves for the starting grid, the rolling start, and away we go, and we are underway. Again, there you see there's a gap here, but I try not to get involved. I want a more peaceful run up Eau Rouge, you know, incident free as much as I can, and it's worked off all right. It's, you know, it's gained us a position there. Again, we swap over to the left hand side. I guess the AI just like defending to the right hand side of the Camel Straight, don't they? But yeah, we go take the outside, and because we can do that, and because that Huracan was there, we're able to gain a position on someone who on the inside would have otherwise overtaken us. But yeah, good stuff, good start. Made up a couple of positions, and this corner always feels like it takes forever. And again, you know, the AI goes wide there. I guess they're just trained to do that. But yeah, we stick around the outside of the Huracan. Good stuff. Onto the curb. Now, the R8 up ahead of us. A sight that we are unfortunately all too familiar with. But yeah, went a little wide there. Not exactly what you want, but, you know, lap 1 shenanigans. Now, they're still all super close up ahead, which is good for us. When you've got cars up ahead, they're all trying to overtake each other, and what's great about that is that it means that they lose time to each other. You know, someone's attacking, someone's defending, they're not taking the most optimum racing line, so that leaves the door open for us to get a really good exit out of there while they're all busy fighting with each other. So you can just see how much we gain off of that exit. So tucking into the slipstream now, switching to the outside and just using so much AstroTurf there, but yeah, we stick it around and going off the track, coming out of there, sorry, and an audacious move down the inside of the NSX into the bus stop. I do lose. I asked too much of the car. Lose that spot again, but it's alright. We have now gone a whole lot closer to the group up ahead of us now. Starting lap number 2 in P8, and again we try that dive bomb again down the inside of the NSX, and yeah, that was a pretty alright move. I'm pretty happy with that. It was a very Daniel Ricciardo-esque move. So, well, if it isn't the R8 that we're oh so familiar with that orange livery up ahead. And yeah, I'm still making good or bad use of the track there. It really depends on how you see it. Depends on how you drive, I guess. But I think almost universally the answer will be no, that was really bad. But yeah, went to that chicane alright, but I feel like I slowed down a bit too much there. Just, yeah, going a little wide again. But still, we are slowly gaining on the pack ahead, and as you can see, they're right behind each other. They're bound to be fighting against each other. In fact, the next 3 cars are pretty alright distance away from each other to where they might be able to start, you know, losing lap time to each other. So yeah, going into point here, shift down to 3rd, and just making a whole lot of visits out there to the outside, and you can see up ahead they're squabbling already, which leaves the opportunity for us to make some moves, and you can just see how much we gain through there. Yeah, taking the curb there on the outside and just preparing for the next corner, downshift into 2nd, and you can see just how much closer we've gotten, just because these two are just holding each other up. And yeah, just getting on the throttle. Did not go flat there, so we don't really gain as much as we would have thought, but that's fine because we're still in the slipstream, and yeah, you can just see the advantage of that, you know, just making a good exit out of there. We take the inside this time, right behind the GTR, and just make it past the R8 whilst kind of disobeying track limits. Again, I'm sorry. Yeah, going into the chicane here, I take a look up the inside of the GTR. Didn't work, and I didn't anticipate the AI braking there because I don't. So, sorry. But yeah, we try to move again down the inside, and yeah, I started getting the hang for that move there. He's still on us though. In fact, he's in front of us. So yeah, that move didn't really stick, but that's fine because now we've got the run up through Eau Rouge, through the top of Radion, and down the Camel Straight. Yeah, I don't know if I'm driving it wrongly or if it's just how the GTR is sort of supposed to be driven, but I don't really brake through there anymore. I definitely used to, but it's more of a lifting situation now. But yeah, outbraked up the inside and cover off the inside for the next corner, just so that GTR doesn't get past us. And I get a little wobbly on the exit there, but it's alright. We managed to stick it around the outside of that GTR. Now open to P4, and you can see next car is about 2 seconds and a bit of change up ahead. Another M4. So yeah, I guess Germany wins this one. Sorry, Nissan. But yeah, coming down here to Puon, very high speed, and or at least in an F1 car, I felt sluggish through this. I think that's just more me, just being a slower driver in general. But yeah, just brake right there before the curb starts, so we can get an earlier turn in, because if I'm honest, this car is a bit heavy, so I do my best to get rotation done as early as I can. Yep. And you can see my telemetry down there. I don't even know if it's really all that clear on my recording, but you know, I did what I could. But yeah, good progress in the first 2 laps. So yeah, do I get closer in the end? I don't really remember. Anyways, yeah, heavy braking down there just after the curb starts, taking a pretty alright line. Could have gone a bit farther out on exit there, but to each their own. Or rather, to not each their own. I mean, I guess that's just... It really is just how you're supposed to take it. But yeah, I just took a lot there on the inside, but that's how I normally like to do it. But yeah, I'm now gonna take another sip from my my beloved cup of Ahmed English breakfast tea. I do need to work up on the entry to Radeon though, because I am taking a bit more taking a lot more track width on the inside than I would like to. That's more of just me trying to play it safe. You know, I don't want to do anything bad out there. But yeah, don't want to get penalized. Well, we're fine for now. Oh, again, excuse me. I've been so gassy. The incredible gassy. That's what they used to call me in high school. No, they didn't. But yeah. I still struggle with Puan. I think more so with this car. It's a lot more not top heavy per se, but it's taller just in general. Sliding a lot there. It's taller than the AMG, so its center of gravity is not where I usually want it to be. So I get a lot more mid to exit sliding than what I'm used to, and I guess I haven't put it all together yet on how to deal with this car, but you know, we get there eventually. It's always a journey, so you always got to stay a student. It's the most important part. Yep, just wait just after the billboard, just before the white line, and yep, start braking. Did I say before? I meant after. Start braking a little bit after that white line. Yep. So come across the line. 4th lap now, and still a manageable distance away from the car ahead. Now, in the first race, I I go wide there. The sausage curbs there, I don't want any trouble with them. So my idea was to just get out of the way of those sausages first, and I'll just try cross them as quick as I can. Where was I going with this? Yeah. First race, you'll notice I just kept losing time, lap after lap, corner after corner, really, to the car ahead. But here, it's a bit more consistent. The pace is a bit more manageable. So that tells me that... I am sorry. I'm gassy. But yeah, but that tells me that we're lapping at about the same pace that they are, and we're keeping fairly consistent with them, which is a good sign. You know, you've probably heard it, and a bit more sliding there. Not good. Ironically, I was just about to say that consistency is key. And this has not been a very good lap so far. But, you know, it's better than the last race. We definitely learned a little there. Downshift twice, get back into 3rd, and just use the exit there. I'm afraid of the curbs on the inside of Pool. I tend to lose... you know, I just lose all traction when I get on those curbs. A little later of an apex than I would have hoped, but yep, riding the curbs there. Again, using the AstroTurf on the outside and just downshifting a second and getting back on the throttle. just abuse track limits there, or not really, and flat all the way out, and zoom, zoom, zoom onto the finish line now, onto the bus stop chicane, and yeah, I'm definitely not gaining on them, and I get so far off the track there. Don't know why I did that. I don't even remember doing that. Anyways, last two corners, going through the bus stop chicane one final time. And there we go. P4 finish, starting from, what was that, P12, I think. Yeah, it was P12. So yeah, learned a lot. It was, you know, and that's generally what you want from racing. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun. Good learning opportunity. Also just getting to grips with a new car. Last race we had like what was it, one valid lap? And as you can see here, we now have 2 valid laps. Incredible stuff. Fastest lap was a 2:23. Oh, that's not a good highlight there. The GTR. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.